Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. I have seen in some comments in some of the past posts references of Project 2025, and although that's a very wide sweeping thing, um, to narrow it in on VA Project 2025 and just to kind of look at that, I did find some information online that I wanted to share with you with regard to Project 2025 and the VA specifically. And look, here's my thing on it. Everything is there's usually a lot of talk and vibrato out there, especially during election years, and the loudest voices are the ones that are heard. I don't really know what's going to happen. Who really knows? And I may butcher some of this stuff, which I rely on others here to put additional information into the comments below. So I did find what they're saying is a nonpartisan view or piece on this, and I want to share it with you here today. So let's jump into it and go from there. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. So it goes on here to say Project 2025, the Department of Veterans Affairs. And this is starts off, the healthcare of veterans is a matter that transcends partisanship and is part of the United States' solemn promise to the men and women who served in its military. The Department of Veterans Affairs is responsible for administering not only the Veterans Health Administration, but also a wide range of benefits for veterans, including disability compensation, pension programs, education, home loan guarantees, life insurance, burial and memorial benefits, survivor benefits, employment services, and caregiver support. I'm actually really glad that they really spelled that out, because the VA often just gets put into kind of two sections: healthcare and compensation. So there was a lot said in that sentence. So just kind of nice that they did that. Anyway, moving on. Public polling consistently shows that Americans in general, right? Americans support enhanced benefits for veterans, specifically affordable housing, free college, and free health care, more so than for the general population. A 2024 Rand Corporation study confirmed past polling reflected broad bipartisan support for veteran-specific programs, with most Americans willing to pay higher taxes to fund these initiatives. So thank you to our civilian counterparts out there. We appreciate you. Moving on, both the Democratic and Republican parties have also generally demonstrated strong support for veterans and their benefits. However, both parties still debate specific policy implementation and budget allocation. The Republican Party has expressed a preference for moving to a public-private partnership to administer many veteran benefits, while most, and this is in parentheses, while most of the Democratic Party favors investing in public infrastructure to meet VA mandates. So it's not surprising that proposed changes to the VA included in Project 2025, a conservative blueprint for a second Trump administration, focuses largely on privatization. From a nonpartisan perspective, the stated aims of Project 2025 proposed reforms are worthy goals to enhance the efficiency, responsiveness, and veteran-centric focus of the VA by addressing healthcare delivery, benefits administration, infrastructure, and workforce management. But would these reforms achieve their intended goals? Key proposals in the 2025 in Project 2025: political and operational changes. One notable political proposal would extend the term of the Undersecretary for Health to ensure continuity and project the position. Oh, protect. protect the position from political changes by the next administration. Additionally, the plan calls for the dismissal of Biden administration appointees on day one to establish political control over the VA. And I mean, that's kind of how it always is. I mean, every time a new president comes in, if it's a different party, they're always changing all of the others appointed people. I mean, it's just kind of it's almost 100%. I mean, obviously there's always exceptions, but there's a lot of times that's going to happen. Anyway, healthcare proposals. These are particularly controversial. The plan recommends eliminating services deemed contrary to conservative principles, such as abortion and gender reassignment surgeries, and emphasizes adjusting services to meet the needs of an aging veteran population transitioning from Vietnam era to post 9/11 veterans. It also proposes codifying the 2018 VA Mission Act standards to ensure veterans have access to private sector care, potentially expanding privatized outpatient clinics and telehealth. Okay, potentially. I don't know, right? I would like for it to be more pointed, but fine. Could lead to, So the Mission Act, in the Mission Act was really the community care aspect was really put into place there, and now we've seen the stories of from you guys watching. My ability to obtain community care ended. They don't allow me to anymore. They've denied it or what have you. So looks like they're asking for that to be put back into place. Moving on to the next one, Veterans Benefits Administration reforms. For the VBA, Veterans Benefits Administration, the focus is on outsourcing and technology to streamline claims processing. The goal is to process the first disability claim within 30 days and reduce improper payments and fraud. There is also an emphasis on accelerating reviews of standardized disability ratings and increasing IT funding for automation and improved efficiency. Next one here, Office of Human Resources and Administration reforms. The HRA reforms include rescinding Biden administration delegations of authority, reevaluating hybrid and remote work policies, expediting a new HRIT system, and enhancing recruitment of veterans and military spouses. Additionally, the plan suggests sunsetting the Office of Accountability and Whistleblower Protection and decoupling HRA from the Office of Security and Preparedness to streamline operations. Moves on here now that was outlined. They have their concerns and considerations section. So concerns and considerations. One of the primary goals of Project 2025 VA reforms is to outsource many core healthcare services to private companies. This includes outsourcing exams for evaluating claims, adjudicating claims automatically with private tech companies, and facilitating care through private healthcare providers. While some conservative groups like Concerned Veterans for America support expanding veteran access to private care and cite polling that indicates wide support for the plan or for that plan, this polling seems to directly contradict years of surveys of veterans who use VHA. All right, I'm just going to throw out there that this is a weird situation, because if we highly transition to community care for whatever reason, if we don't use it, we lose it, talking about the VHA, so that will constrict, right? We can't have our cake and eat it too, so to speak. So it's a slippery slope. I think that if quality, timeliness and quality of care were really good marks for the VA in your local area, you would go to the VA. But if you have a VA that you don't trust, it has a long wait time to get into it, and your experience there is subpar, why would you want to go there? It's they should not be exempt from being awesome, right? They should function, in my opinion, like a business who's trying to vie for customers, right? You walk into Starbucks, and if you've been in there 5 times, they know your name and they wave to you and whatever. So we need to have a customer service and quality care mindset, in my opinion, right? If you want folks to go to VHA. All right, so anyway, moving on. For the quarter ending March 2024, 80.4% of veterans expressed trust in the VA, with a 91.8% specifically trusting VA health services. Why the disconnect? Here's my question on surveys. I sometimes they're frustrating. I don't know how many people the survey was sent to and how many actually responded. And are you only sending it to veterans that go to the VHA, or are you sending it to all VA benefit related veterans? So everybody who's receiving compensation and could go to the VHA if they so wanted. Obviously, the people that are going to the VHA are going because they're okay with it. I've had no problem with the VHA. I'm good with everywhere that I've ever been. But I know that there's horror stories out there. And so when it comes to percentages, sure, we pulled every veteran who has come through the VHA doors in the last 60 days and asked them, do you trust the VA? Okay, that's going to be a higher number than we pulled 100% of all service-connected veterans, and what did they come back with, right? It's going to be a much lower number. Anyway, so let's move on. Why the disconnect? So the difference in perceptions may come from the fact that outside polling often includes a large percentage of opinions from the public rather than just veterans who use VHA services, skewing the results. So that could be another option for skewed results. I like mine. I think that we need to know who you're polling, right? So anyway, or perhaps past scandals at individual VA facilities remain salient in the public's minds. However, multiple systematic reviews comparing VA and non-VA healthcare outcomes show that VHA generally provides equal or better quality of care, particularly regarding mortality rates and in safety, equity, and specific surgical and clinical outcomes. So, again, it's a customer service thing then, right? For some places. Anyway, without a doubt, there are veterans who have negative experiences with their VA administration care, and those veterans need to be heard and have their concerns addressed. Agreed. However, privately administered health care in the U.S. is already overburdened, and it doesn't seem logical to move veterans into that private system, risking the real net positive results most veterans experience through VHA. A recent audit by the VA Office of Inspector General concurred and highlighted concerns that increased spending on community care could erode the VA's direct care system and limit choice for veterans who prefer VA services. It warned that diverting funds from the VA to private care could reduce the quality of direct VA care. And I agree. It's the use it or lose it aspect of it. The other piece I think here is the VA's, VHA specifically's ability to hire quality staff when, especially if it's, doctors, nurses, that type of stuff, physicians, assistants, they can make more on the private side, and there's that. So anyway, let's move on. To be clear, under the Biden administration, the VA has continued the trend of privatization that began under Obama, grew and was codified by the Mission Act in 2018 under Trump. The Project 2025 report on the VA hints at this when offering rare praise that the Biden appointees have adopted some of their predecessors' governance processes. Ensuring that changes truly benefit veterans should be the priority of the current administration as well as future administrations looking to improve the VA. Project 2025 focuses on conservative political goals and extensive outsourcing, risking politicizing the VA further and undermining its ability to serve veterans effectively, given the high trust and satisfaction among veterans with current VA services. Nonpartisan support for the veteran-centric benefits and research indicating that the importance of retaining the private model of care, it is crucial to approach these reforms cautiously. And that's how it ends in this thing. So, I mean, it's all opinions at this point. I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and especially on the key proposals that they listed out here for the VA, which was the the healthcare proposals, the Veteran Benefits Administration reforms, the Office of Human Resources and Administration reforms, as well as the political and operational changes. I'm going to copy and paste that into the description of the video. And again, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on what should happen. Because look, here's the end of the day. This administration, right? The VA, the Department of Veterans Affairs, is for us as veterans and surviving spouses and dependents and so forth. What do we want to see change, right? How do we want it to run, right? I mean, I could throw on a few things. You want a fast claim. You want quality care in a timely fashion. You want good customer service when you walk into the place. You don't want to be looked at like you're a burden, right? You don't want somebody up there, sitting on their phone, ignoring you as you're walking up to the counter, right? You want good customer service. You want that type of stuff, right? You want all the care that you need under one roof. You want to be able to pick up prescriptions if you need to, that type of stuff. So anyway, with that, we'll let it go there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.